bringing the virtual world of Facebook into the real world of the village. Every village guest received a wristband holding an RFID microchip that contained their Facebook username and password. On each village attraction, we attached an RFID microchip capable of collecting the user's data and sending it directly back to Facebook, creating a real-time sharing experience for the guests with their Facebook friends. The teenagers, full of excitement, used the wristband non-stop. In addition, the wristband was also used to auto-tag the teenagers in pictures that were uploaded to Facebook online. The experience moved from the world of Facebook into the real world and returned to the virtual world in full capacity. Like?
We've had a national identification program here in Canada since 2001. This is one of the bar-coded ear tags. This number will stay with this animal from birth right through to the end of his life. And this is the new radio frequency tags that we've put into our animals.
A microchip, and what we're doing is we're putting a chip under the skin of the animal that can identify Ellie for the rest of her life. And the way that works is we insert a chip and then we're going to send the information in to a company called Home Again, and what they're going to do is register Ellie under this microchip number, and if for some reason Ellie would ever be lost, any veterinary clinic she goes to, any humane society, animal care and control,
me, sir. Forgot your receipt. Have a nice day.
This is the future of e-business.
Already, fingerprints and iris scans verify passenger identities at airports. Within 10 years, that technology may be even more widespread. And look for more complex facial recognition programs that scan a crowd of thousands looking for a single terrorist.
I have good reason not to trust my daughter.
I thought you decided to forgive Lucy for taking off with Johnny.
It's a process. Could take years. Besides, how do I know she's even going to Chicago?
Hey, Lucy, does Bob Hughes know about this presentation in Chicago?
He selected me for it. You can call him. Or have a PI put on me.
I'll do you one better. I'll have Johnny equipped with one of those microchips so I can track him wherever he goes, and I'll have my own PI fit him for it at school.
Seriously?
Johnny will be fully equipped when you come to pick him up.
Not exactly a ringing endorsement.
Consider it a test.
And I'll pass with flying colors, thank you, Daddy. And you too, Carly.
Science fiction became reality today. The Food and Drug Administration approved a computer chip that's implanted into people.
The chip would contain a person's medical records. The microchips have already been used to identify lost pets, and as Lisa Chiava shows us, they have lots of potential in people.
Every second counts when you need help, but you're unconscious, and doctors need critical information.
Okay, we want to know what medications you're on. We want to know what you're allergic to. We want to know kind of what your health problems are.
This tiny chip can lead to a wealth of information about you. If you had been implanted with the device, a doctor would scan your upper arm and then...
That's the number that would come up when you got scanned.
That number is entered into a computer database and your medical records appear.
I'll take you over here first.
Engineers at Digital Angel in St. Paul developed the groundbreaking chip. The company already sells 1 million ID chips for dogs and cats. That research helped the company develop something safe for humans.
We've over the years developed a plastic sheath so that the tissue adheres to it and it doesn't move.
It stays put in your upper arm after doctors use a syringe to implant it there. It will be marketed to people with health problems that may cause them to become unconscious.
It sounds like science fiction, but Nick Minicucci is getting a microchip implanted in his arm.
I didn't feel it at all, actually. When you pulled it out, that's the only time I felt it actually leaving.
The chip is smaller than a thumbnail, but allows doctors access to his entire medical records with only the swipe of a scan.
There's days I forget I even have it.
Molly Phillips is a diabetic. She had the chip implanted in her arm after a medical scare last December landed her in the hospital. Doctors didn't know what medication she was on.
If I'm in that circumstance again, they would scan my arm, pull up my information, and have it right there.
It was originally used for tracking lost pets, but the FDA approved Verichip implants in humans last year. Since then, 60 people in the Northeast have gotten the chip implant. Each chip contains a unique 16-digit number that, when scanned, connects doctors to an internet database that retrieves medical records instantly.
It's the sickest patients that you need accurate information, medical information, up front in a very timely fashion.
Already using some type of GPS on some soldiers, but what more can be done? CNN's Brian Todd takes a look in this week's Tech Effect.
A relentless search for 2 missing American soldiers in Iraq. Could tracking devices placed on their bodies have helped to find them faster?
That kind of technology does exist. Obviously, it's not down to fine microchips at this point, but it does exist and is used in this theater by certain forces when they're conducting the specialized type missions.
Because of the high risk and sensitivity of those missions, we cannot say what units the troops who carry tracking devices are assigned to, what the equipment looks like, or where it's placed on the body. Just about every U.S. military vehicle in Iraq has GPS or another type of electronic tracking device so their commanders can monitor them. It's called Blue Force tracking. Some law enforcement units back home have experimented with chips that give physical data about officers but don't have tracking signals. U.S. military officials say soldiers and Marines in most regular combat units in Iraq, like the Missing Soldiers Division, are not outfitted with tracking devices. One reason, the high cost. Another, the danger involved if a soldier carrying one gets captured.
That provides certain options for the adversary. If he knows that this is a tracker and somebody's going to come back and get this tracker because they think it's associated with a human being, they have the ability to set up an ambush for whatever unit's going to come back and try and find this unit.
One option, placing a tracking microchip under a service member's skin. Former U.S. Special Operations officers tell us they believe that's being developed. Current military officials won't comment on that. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.